Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kennedy and I hate K-pop. Those who know me and those who have been following my channel for a while, maybe even seeing my shorts, maybe even my earliest videos, they are dance covers by the way. You know I love K-pop. I'm a K-pop coverist and I attended summer school at California State University to earn my K-pop content creation certificate. So technically, I am certified to make this video. Over the last 6 years, I've put a lot of time and energy into understanding the industry and the fandom. Honestly, I don't like what I've concluded. The past year has been exhausting, not only in my fandoms, but the greater fandom as a whole. Today is a different type of video, bringing the chaotic, ranty energy from my lives to this video format. I just needed to get this off my chest once and for all. What's so funny, I was telling my family about this video, and I have 6 pages, of notes ready to read off, and then they were like, "Well, are you going to talk about this? Did you bring up that?" It was supposed to be like a quick rant, and now it's turning into more. So that's why I think I titled this part one. But before I get gritty, if you like the video, let it be known, and subscribe to see more videos that you like. Disgusting scandals. Celebrity scandals are extremely normal. I grew up seeing wholesome child stars like Lindsay Lohan, Justin Bieber, Orlando Brown, Amanda Bynes, and more having viral mugshots. I'd have the same nonchalant reaction to K-pop idols in the same predicament if their livelihood wasn't built off of parasocial relationships. Now, if you don't know what a parasocial relationship is, a parasocial relationship is a one-sided relationship that a media user has with a media persona, i.e., I think I know Jungkook because of his multi-hour lives, but he does not know me. In a lot of ways, we have parasocial relationships with child stars, expecting them to be role models forever. But it feels more intense with modern day idols in the age of social media. The K-pop industry thrives off of parasocial relationships. That's why every idol group has their own variety show, has company mandated and monitored live streams, vlogs, fan meets, fan signs, and paid, more personal VIP concert experiences. That only makes it all the more disappointing when our idols screw up. At times, you'll see the fandom overreacting about grown men and women vaping or having romantic relationships, or about drunkenly falling off your own scooter in the middle of the night. But I'm talking about disgusting and vile incidents that come to light and tarnish whatever the idol has touched. Literally and figuratively. The first incident that comes to mind is Taeil from NCT. This scum of the earth motherfucker R-worded and sent unalive threats to a 12-year-old girl and her mother for 6 years before he was successfully discovered and sentenced. He was immediately kicked out of his group, but the fandom is still shaken from this news. I can't imagine what the survivor is feeling and experiencing right now, but peace and healing to her and her family. I think this TikTok user addressed the situation very well. Play the clip.
As I'm sure many of you guys have been, I've been in disbelief over the Taeil situation the entire day, and I haven't really had the words for it. But I figured since I post so much about NCT on this account, it was really something I wanted to comment on. What I really wanted to say is that before I'm an N-citizen, before I'm a K-pop stan, I am a woman. And I feel as a woman before I feel as a K-pop stan. Even now when I know we're all so shocked and at a loss for words, we can't comprehend the degree of hurt that his victims and other victims of SA are feeling right now. So I wanted to say, in my mind and in actuality, NCT 127 is 8 members to me. I do not want to be associated with Taeil from now on. Also wanted to say that if you are taking this moment and using it to talk about another K-pop group, you are missing the point and the severity of the situation entirely. Victim or victims are real people with real pain and trauma, and that pain and trauma is not your fuel to one-up another K-pop group. Like, honestly, it feels really silly that I have to even say this out loud. I've seen some things along the lines of, like, good thing I stan this group, like, that they would never do this. But I want to ask you genuinely, do you think any of us, any NCT fans, ever thought that this would happen? I know it's been said time and time again, but at the end of the day, you do not know these people. And I've heard it said, my love for this group or this idol is unconditional. But for me, my support as a fan is very conditional. Conditional on them being a decent human being, conditional on them not hurting others. I guess what I'm trying to say is to be mindful that you do not know your idols I don't know my idols. None of us know them personally, and that is incredibly, incredibly important to remember. That's enough for my rant. If you've made it this far, I hope you guys are all taking care, and I'm sending immense healing and hopes for justice for all the victims and all victims of SA everywhere.
The Burning Sun scandal and the recent Kim Soo-hyun incident are very similar, but I mentioned Taeil because it affected my personal fandoms. This is an ongoing theme, and it's honestly very exhausting. Now it feels wrong and even gross to enjoy the art that they made before we knew the ugly truth. It takes away the enjoyment and leaves a sour taste in my mouth. There are so many NCT songs that I love because of his voice, and honestly, I haven't been able to listen to them since the news broke. Mistreatment. Idol mistreatment has been an ongoing conversation since I joined the fandom in 2019, but I feel like it really blew up in 2022 when the first time I even heard about Omega X was when they were speaking out against the abuse that they faced under their company. If it weren't for a fan who took a video of the abuse, they wouldn't have been able to sue and win. Since then, I've seen a lot more public legal disputes between groups and their companies. EXO members Baekhyun, Chen, and Schumann filed a lawsuit against SM for having slave contracts, and SM filed back? Question mark? I don't really know what's going on with that. GWSN, Girls in the Park, is one of my favorite groups, and they disbanded after suing their company for unsuitable working and living conditions. The company even failed to manage their immigration statuses, so members Mia and Soso were fined for overstaying their visas. They won their lawsuit and broke their contract. Handong, Dami, and Gahyun from Dreamcatcher have also left their company. Yeri and Wendy from Red Velvet are also leaving SM Entertainment. Even Blackpink members left YG as soloists as their contracts expired. We don't know the details of why they're leaving the company, but if patterns show true, it's probably overworking and or underpaying. Sometimes the mistreatment is so bad that they don't get the luxury of leaving. Self-unaliving. I'm going to keep this section brief, but there are idol suicides that still haunt the industry to this day. And honestly, like Moonbin from Astro passed about 2 years ago, and we still don't know what the cause of death was. So that's also very suspicious in my opinion. There are too many tragic deaths to touch on, but the one that upsets me the most is Jonghyun from SHINee. Though I didn't know about SHINee before his passing, I do listen to them a lot, and I've grown quite fond of his presence in the group. It breaks my heart that he's not here to continue his journey, and my heart goes out to his family, bandmates, and fans. What upsets me the most is how his company, SM Entertainment, handled it. He didn't get the support he needed. His sister actually started a mental health program called the SHINee Foundation to help young idols with the same issues Jonghyun struggled with.
So over the past week, Jonghyun from SHINee, his sister, recently launched a mental health counseling program for younger artists in Korea. And the program is called the SHINee Foundation, which Jonghyun's family established back in 2018. For those of you who are new to K-pop, or those of you who don't know who Jonghyun is, he is a member of SHINee. He passed away on December 28th, 2017, taking his own life. At the age of 27, he was found unconscious in a hotel, and his sister actually contacted the police because she had not heard from him. Since his death, his family has been very involved in supporting artists and mental health. I'm really proud of his sister for opening this and establishing this foundation, because mental health is very taboo in Korea, and it still is. And with a lot of these K-pop idols and artists in Korea, mental health is not talked about enough. When he passed away, that became the catalyst of the reality of what the idol industry is, and about essentially the culture in Korea about how mental health is handled. And unfortunately, it's still something that we see today, but a lot of us have opened our eyes to know the dark side of depression and mental health. This is their official Instagram page if you would like to follow them. As you can see, Key also follows them as well. Now, his sister came out with a video that you can find on this Instagram page talking about how she's excited about this program that just launched. She said, "After a long time of hiding, I found a way to express what's deep inside me. I believe many people have things they wish to share. There is a way to be open about your problems and find peace. I hope to create a space where people can come out of their loneliness, be honest about their struggles, and work with them." And honestly, she couldn't have said it any better. I just want to preface this by saying that I am not sponsored in any way to post this. I just am a fan of SHINee, and really his death just took a toll on me as a fan, and I really support his family and his sister for this. There are donation application forms for foreigners if you would like to donate towards their foundation. And you can find this online if you just type in Shiny Foundation on Google. You can find it. There is an English part on the website for donations. So it goes through PayPal and it gets taken out the 15th of each month, I believe Korean time and day. I think this is a great cause. I love this, especially for younger artists in the K-pop industry where they feel alone and they feel like they don't have anyone to talk to. This is a great program for them. So I'm really excited. And I want to put this out there for anybody who would like to donate towards the Shiny Foundation and continue the foundation. I know a lot of us Shiny fans took his death very hard, and I still to this day take it very hard because he was one of my favorites in that era of K-pop. And I honestly can't say enough how proud I am of his family for launching this, because mental health is still such a stigma in Korea, and it's very hard and very inaccessible in Korea, basically. So if you have time, please donate. Again, if you type in Shiny Foundation, which is spelled SHINY Foundation, and then you can also find their Instagram, please support them.
I will link it in the description. It's amazing to see what people are doing to prevent tragedies like this from happening. And I wish companies would take their idols' mental and physical health more seriously, especially considering how much money they rake in. Racism. If I talked about every single racist incident in K-pop, I'd be making a 3-hour video. Part 1. So every time another idol does something racist, I just laugh and say, of course.
Now, before y'all start getting y'all boxer briefs in a bunch, this video is not necessarily about Blackpink themselves, because let's be real here. You can take this N-word situation and literally replace it with any idol's name. Take every name in this industry, put it into a giant bowl, close your eyes, mix it around 3 times. Your chances of pulling out an idol's name who has done something anti-Black in any way, shape, or form, cultural appropriation, whatever it may be, is a good 95%. And I feel like even with that calculation, I am being generous. It would not be fair of me, nor would it make sense to only focus on Blackpink, because this is not a Blackpink issue. This is not a Blink issue. This is a K-pop industry and K-pop fan issue, because a lot of you love to avoid accountability, even though many of you contribute to the problem. Let's talk about K-pop and K-pop fans as a whole, because I've noticed patterns whenever something like this happens. Whenever it comes to Black people and our feelings and our experiences, y'all never feel disappointed. Like, y'all won't be consistent in anything else, won't be consistent in your academics, your work ethic, can't even be consistent in following a decent sleep schedule. But trust and believe, when it comes to invalidating Black people and disturbing Black people's peace, y'all are there no matter what. I'm honestly convinced y'all have a bat signal for us. Whenever something like this happens, y'all love to push this narrative that anti-Blackness only exists within the US. N-word, the N-word doesn't exist outside the US. Literally no one outside the United States knows what the N-word is. Nobody has ever heard of that. Anti-Blackness doesn't even happen outside the US. Nobody does it in any way, shape, or form. Yeah, colorism somehow exists, but racism towards Black people? No way! Guys, it is 2025. Y'all gotta come up with some new material. Not only are there different variations of the N-word in other languages that are not English, pushing this narrative that anti-Blackness is something that is on US soil only, it doesn't exist in any other country outside the US, is extremely harmful. This may be a shocker to some, but Black people do not only live in the United States. Yeah, I'm glad y'all learned something new today. Even removing African countries out of the equation, the United States still does not have the highest population of Black people. There are Black people everywhere. There are Black people who travel and live in European countries, Latin American countries, Asian countries, who have shared their racist encounters while being in these countries. So to push this idea that anti-Blackness is something one would only experience within the US completely dismisses and invalidates these people's real experiences. My dad, he owns a moving and relocation business, and he has moved people from everywhere. When I say everywhere, everywhere. Honest to God, when I say this, my dad told me in his 20+ years of being in this industry, his most racist customer encounters were from Japanese and Korean people. So to say that anti-Blackness is a US only issue, an American only issue, absolutely insane. So the next point, you K-pop fans constantly disrespect Black people, but at the same time, you use us as shields. You use Black people as protection, and you crave our validation. You non-Black people, you non-Black K-pop fans are always telling Black people how we should feel about anti-Blackness. Y'all are always telling us how we should and shouldn't react about anti-Blackness, about the N-word. I've noticed in a lot of tweets I've been seeing, y'all are trying to gentrify the N-word and make it a curse word, and it's like, oh, it's just something you shouldn't say to Black people because that's rude. No, it's a slur. It's a slur. You shouldn't be saying it at all because it's not for you to reclaim, considering y'all are the they and not like us that Kendrick was talking about. Clock it. You know, ask dumbass questions, then why do rappers use it in music? Because they are niggas. We, not y'all, we are niggas. You think this rapper talking about the Black experience, the struggle, police brutality, and saying, oh yeah, me and my niggas is talking about your white ass in Oklahoma? Are you serious? Once again, y'all got it twisted, singing They Not Like Us and making all these edits with these K-pop idols and everything. Y'all are the they in question. Remember that. It's just a bunch of hypocrisy going around. Do Koreans know of anti-Blackness? Do they know of the N-word, or do they not? You can't push this idea that anti-Blackness doesn't happen there, how the N-word isn't a thing there, and then bring it up in Stan Wars. You get to pick one. K-pop fans crave Black validation. They crave cool points from Black people, and I get it, because Black people, we're cool as hell. We are cool as hell. We make everything cool all the way down to a slur. We took a word that was created to degrade us and strip us from our own humanity and completely turn it around. No other race has done that, bro. No other group has done that. I can go up to a Black person and say, hey, what's up, my I won't blink an eye. I cannot go up to a gay person and say, hey, what's up, my you know how crazy that would sound? But yeah, I get it, we're cool, but you cannot disrespect Black people and then want Black people brownie points. That's not how it works. I see posts all the time of stans wanting Beyonce and Kendrick to co-sign, just simply acknowledge their groups. Y'all want Megan Thee Stallion, Doechii, Tyler to do a collab with your group or simply acknowledge your group, but you don't want to respect black people. That is not how this works. Anyways, I'm a black woman before I am an enjoyer of K-pop music. I will always stand for black people, my people, black women first before anything. K-pop fans who constantly disrespect black people continue to have the days that the universe, God, or whoever you believe in think you deserve.
Most recently, one of my favorite groups, Kiss of Life, showed their asses. They were talking loudly and popping their gum. Someone in the comments asked what the theme was, and the girls showed a picture of black people. Not black celebrity red carpet looks, but regular black people. Cat? What kind of theme is nigga? And this is just a few months after they gained popularity with their song Igloo, which is a hip-hop song and there's no getting around it. Their company released an apology, but they knew it was weird and they knew it was wrong. How do I know that they knew? Because Belle said, please don't unstan us. Girl, this is ridiculous. Wow. Ooh, inches. Imagine if I had a birthday party and the theme was Asian, and I projected all of these harmful stereotypes. Would you guys still like me? Would you guys still think I'm cool? Would you guys still think that I appreciate Asian media and culture? No, you wouldn't, because that's not appreciation. That is mocking. And Young Posse, I'm just gonna play the clip.
Vitamin D라는 랩을 해보겠습니다.
All the way go straight to the ass. Make it shouldn't be late for a class. She make a zika wanna hold even though a couple bottles get it straight to the cash.
All I'm hearing is nigga this, nigga that, nigga, 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 nigga. You can't just be up in here saying nigga like this.
There are non-black K-pop fans fighting and invalidating black feelings and experiences.
I've been listening to K-pop since I was 10 years old. I've been here since the Taeyeon Alicia Keys is Pretty for a Black Girl. I've been here since the Crush doing blackface. I've been here since the American Hustle Lives, the AOMGs, the Show Me the Money, the YG as an entire company, since Kai to Pfeiffer's life for being a couple shades darker than the rest of his group. I was on 2020 K-pop stan Twitter. I've seen it all. I'm beat down, I'm broken, I'm jaded, but this shit is a new level crazy. It has always been this bad, but with how interconnected and accessible knowledge and culture and just being able to directly talk to someone on the other side of the planet is now, it is insane that we are still dealing with this at such a huge level. Lay down the cultural differences pitchforks because it's beyond that at this point. It is the fact that we are looked down upon, disrespected, stereotyped, but we are the entire basis and blue point for the fact that these people are making money. They are making so much money that we don't see a dime of. We're hired behind the scenes to be choreographers and producers and things of that nature, but we can't even get so much as human decency, respect. We are actively looked down upon as if we are not the entire reason this shit exists. Crazy. Look at this motherfucker behind me. Ain't shit funny no more. You cannot keep trying to tap into a global market then ignore how the rest of the globe works. You're telling me the group that got popular off of Afrobeats Junior, literally doing Ty the cosplay and twerking in the music video, then goes ahead and throws a black people cosplay party, actively shows black people and is like, this is our theme, this is what we're doing the party based off of, has soul food, cornbread and collard greens, bonjour knots, chains, snapbacks, and are talking in like butch. It's actually like, and then goes online and says, hey, please don't unstand or like leave the fandom after you see this. You know actively what you're doing wrong to the point where you try to do some bullshit damage control. They could have deleted the video. They could have done anything. And I don't care whose fault it is at this point. It's gross regardless. I do not care. And all this wraparound gaslighting of trying to be like, oh, they don't know, oh, they're ignorant, they're this, and that. It's the same excuses every time. It's like, can y'all just be honest? Can you just say you don't give a fuck? Stop trying to tell people you care when you really fucking don't. Because that's the worst part about it. You are lying in people's faces, trying to do like PR and damage control, trying to say that you give a fuck. And this starts with the fans too. You're trying to find excuses to justify this behavior when they literally know it's wrong. We've seen this time and time again. They have never truly given a fuck. This is about money. This is about a company. They are going out and they are finding black culture, black music, actively plagiarizing and stealing it, and then profiting off of it, which is already unethical and weird. But then on top of that, you go ahead and disrespect and stereotype and look down upon the people. You literally spit in their faces. You're spitting in the face of the people who made you rich. You don't even have the basic decency to show respect. Because it's about respect. And on top of it being disrespectful, you have your fans and like companies gaslighting and saying like, oh, we're so sorry, we'll do better in the future. You don't. We've been in the future for a long time now. This has been happening for decades. It's gross, it's weird, and I don't know. And it's gonna keep happening. It's just gonna keep happening. Come back to this video in a couple months and I promise you it's gonna be the same situation. Because it's about money. They're making money. They're getting the thing they want from it. So why do they give a fuck? Because they get to keep like getting away with it. When I was 16, I went to KCON and had a high touch event for Mamamoo. I had my natural hair out in like Afro puffs, and when I met Hwasa, she like put her hands above her head, scrunched and said, ooh, and I really didn't know what to do with that, so I kind of just paused, said thank you, and moved on. And when I showed this video, because I have the whole thing on video, mind you, to my best friend's aunt, who was our guardian for the trip, she kind of just said, yeah, that's weird, into microaggression. And I was like, oh, I don't really know how to process that, but I kind of just sat with it. And then a couple months later, they fully did blackface in 4K at a concert, and I was like, oh, this kind of feels connected. So I talked about it online, posted the video and everything, and I got harassed, called every single slur in the book, and gaslit by her fans. And this whole Kiss of Life situation kind of just feels like a slap in the face that, yeah, we're still really super much in that cycle. Like a decade later, shit hasn't changed at all. Got worse even in some ways.
And all of this is really ironic considering that K-pop wouldn't be a thing without American black music. Even the concept of photo cards in albums came from Motown Records with Diana Ross and the Supremes. Yet racism is still through the roof. Black people can't even get into a nightclub in South Korea, but they're playing the music. Tinashe, Chris Brown, Usher. God, they love Usher, but they don't respect black people. And then uneducated non-black people always assume that I want to live out there because I like K-pop music. Bitch, they don't deserve my taxes. Fucking trifling. It gets to a point of exhaustion. How much will we put up with? How much will I put up with? Personally, I choose to allow myself to enjoy things that I enjoy. If I only consumed media from ethically and politically correct sources, I would never consume media. There was a period of time where I refrained from cosplaying because the community was so racist. It wasn't until a few years ago that I let go of that, and I'm much happier now. When it comes to K-pop, I have spent the last year or so detaching myself emotionally, so when stupid shit like this happens, I'm not shocked, surprised, or disappointed. I don't like the idol. I like the music. Just like they like our music, our hair, our style, our language, but they don't respect Black people. So at what point do I say, I'm done? Closing statements. There is so much I want to say about how exhausted I am with being a K-pop stan these days. It's overstimulating, it's expensive, and I gain nothing from being emotionally involved. I stopped collecting albums in 2022. I only buy TXT, and I stopped buying multiple versions. Did they started doing like randomized membered items? I hated that so much. How much more money do you need, Hybe/Big Hit? Are you short on rent? Just say that. I stopped collecting photo cards as well. I do enjoy a concert every now and then, but that's a scam too. Over the past year, I've only listened to the music and covered the dances. Every time someone asks who my bias is, I just say, I don't know them. Call me Mariah Carey, because I don't know them. All I know is that the music slaps and the dances eat. It's all that matters. But it has a lot to do with the illusion being broken. A really insightful blog post on Substack called The Failure of Fantasy by Tamar Herman sums it up perfectly. K-pop and all entertainment sells ideals. And in 2025 and also 2024, we are constantly seeing chips into that idealism, which is one of the reasons that I believe scandals are such a major career-wrecking thing in K-pop and K-dramas. Once the shiny veneer of fantasy has been ruined, whether because of a behavioral or criminal issue. But fantasy is just that, fake. Selling it as the basis of identity-oriented entertainment, as is expected of K-pop, will inevitably always disappoint. This is, personally, one reason why I think the lifespan of K-pop groups, especially female ones, are getting shorter. You cannot possibly live a life without disappointing others. And so the industry is moving on with newer, sparklier, younger acts before the gloss fades too far. The curtain is being pulled, and we're seeing how horrible everything and everyone really is, over and over and over and over again. Our idols aren't perfect. Some of them are horrible, and the companies are even worse. I saw a statistic saying that 72% of young men in their 20s in South Korea are conservative leaning. 72%? South Korea is already very small, so that's a really big statistic. How many of those young men do you think are idols? My least favorite thought is Subin 70 or 30? That is all I have today. Please tell me your thoughts in the comments below, and again, if I have been misinformed, please let me know respectfully. If you want more talks like these more frequently, join my live streams. I go live every Tuesday and Thursday at 9:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And if you know the drill, you like the live, you shake the globe, because I know you want to see it sparkle. Thank you so much for watching. This was Kennedy. Bye!